Hello, welcome back to Blender Sushi Live Noding. In this episode, we're gonna do a modeling of this like a giant electric pole. You might have seen this in the movie. Normally it looks something like this, and then there's like kind of like a wire between them, something like that. So anyway, this is the simple one, just the one in the middle right here. You can also turn this into something like this, like a sculpture of some sort. Um, Anyhow, I'll do a quick breakdown. So this is the giant electric pole. I actually start with a cylinder right here. I'll display every step so it's clearer. So the first one is actually looking something like this guy. And because it's based on cylinder, the angle is a little bit funky like that, 45 degrees. So I rotate it. I rotate it 45 degrees in the z-axis. And now what we have is something like this, like a normal looking, kind of like a pole or something. And oh, actually I scale it somehow. Oh yeah, I forgot here. In here I'm apart from rotating, I'm also doing this kind of like a scaling. So this is actually very handy. It's just remember this setup using matrix apply and matrix in. You can scale it in all XYZ directions. And so for the next step, which is the masking of the polygon, basically I'm checking using the viewer index and look at it. We kind of want to make extrusion on the polygon index 4, 12, 20, actually 4 and 6, 12 and 14, 20 and 22. So those 6 polygon face indices, and I use this list input kind of listing the number because it's only 6. We don't need to program it. If you want to make like something that's fully procedural, maybe you need to put some kind of math here. And I'm using index to mask. This is very handy. Simply using list length, and then this guy will give you like a true and false value. And for the next one, we simply use extrude separate faces and use the masking, and then we end up with something like this. So yeah, that's actually pretty much it. It's very basic, very simple. This is can be some kind of sculpture or totem even. I think it's kind of a nice setup like this. Sometimes for the electric pole, this guy can be rotated slightly differently, you know, like a little bit, sometimes a little bit straight like that. So that's maybe something we can work out somehow. Let me check. There is the polygon extrude, the multi-extrude polygon right here. Perhaps you can use the masking also. So face mask. So let's try this guy, and so vertices goes in there, polygon face coming from this guy, and let's hide this. We don't need to remove double for this guy. Look. Okay. So this can look it looks something like this, slightly different. I think because the face mask is actually different on this guy. Probably I need to plug it in like that. Okay. Yeah. Here we can do some kind of offset, rotation. That's actually pretty funky. And scaling. Okay, we don't need the noise. Repeat, we can reduce the repeat. Scale it down a little bit. This rotate is quite funny actually. This can be for an arm, for a creature. That's actually my plan. At some point, let's see, turn off index viewer. So these guys, the effects of the rotation is accumulative. So, but if you only want to do once, currently it's not like vectorized. It's like more like accumulative kind of effects. Offset variations, no, we don't need that. Rotation variations, no. Probability, just randomize the extrusion, repeat. Oh well, this guy, I think this is still can be pretty handy. I wish I can have more control over the rotation here, but yeah, I think it's quite interesting. And but anyway, if you bake this guy and you triangulate it, you should end up with something that looking like the electric pole. Yeah, so more or less that's the plan. Yeah, even this guy doesn't have the triangulation yet. The triangulation actually have some option. Short diagonal beauty or oops, fix alternative, fix alternate. Fix actually quite nice. Fix alternate, beauty, and go on. Okay, beauty. Yeah, so that's yeah, that's the plan. Still, maybe you can improve this setup somehow to get extra bits of details there. At some point, we try to wire this guy. It's actually shouldn't be too hard. Basically, just keep track of the points here and then create a wire. And you can have electric pole, and at some point we also can create like a railway kind of track. It's all very much a procedural kind of problem that you can solve using Sverchok Add-On. So yeah, thanks again for tuning in. Let me know what